Hi, I'm Detective Incognito. Welcome to another investigation. I explore strange events, forgotten discoveries, and questions that still challenge what we know about our world. What you're about to hear might change the way you see everything. In the Nevada desert, something is generating power that should be impossible. A facility sits beneath the stark landscape, producing electricity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without stopping. No visible fuel arrives. No exhaust leaves. The power flows constantly, regardless of weather, time of day, or season. This isn't theoretical physics. This isn't experimental technology hidden behind classified doors. It's a commercial power plant, operating right now, generating electricity for real customers. And the source of this seemingly infinite energy has been beneath our feet since the planet formed. Billions of years ago. This is the story of how engineers accessed Earth's hidden battery, and why scientists are still working to understand the full implications of what they've achieved. If you've ever wondered whether limitless clean energy might actually be possible, this discovery proves something profound. We've been standing on top of it all along. Subscribe now to see how this technology could reshape civilization's energy future. Like this video if you want to understand the engineering marvel that makes infinite power real. In November 2023, a power plant near Blue Mountain in northern Nevada began commercial operations. The facility looked unremarkable from the surface. A few buildings, some equipment, nothing suggesting revolutionary technology. But underground, something extraordinary was happening. 7,700 feet beneath the desert floor, engineers had tapped into temperatures reaching 376 degrees Fahrenheit. At that depth, Earth's natural heat turned water into superheated steam, capable of driving turbines, generating electricity. Unlike solar panels that go dark at night, or wind turbines that stop when air stills, this facility produced power continuously. The heat source never diminished. It never required refueling. The energy simply existed, waiting to be accessed. Scientists had known for decades that Earth contained enormous thermal energy. The planet's core maintains temperatures around 5,000 degrees Celsius, roughly as hot as the sun's surface. That heat constantly flows outward, through layers of rock, driven by radioactive decay and residual heat from planetary formation. But knowing about this heat, and actually accessing it efficiently, represented vastly different challenges. Traditional geothermal power plants could only operate in specific locations, where Earth's crust was thin enough, and geological conditions permitted. This Nevada facility changed that equation. Fundamentally, the breakthrough began with an unlikely partnership. Announced in 2021, Google, searching for reliable carbon-free electricity to power its massive data centers, approached a company called Fervo Energy. Fervo's founder, Tim Latimer, came from the oil and gas industry, where he'd spent years perfecting horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing techniques. Latimer recognized something others had missed. The same technologies that revolutionized fossil fuel extraction could be adapted to access geothermal heat in places previously considered unsuitable. Michael Terrell, leading Google's energy strategy, saw the potential immediately. Google needed electricity that flowed 24 hours daily, without carbon emissions. Solar and wind provided carbon-free power, but only intermittently. Batteries could store energy for hours, but not weeks. Geothermal offered something different entirely. If Fervo's enhanced system worked commercially, it could provide baseload clean power anywhere drilling technology could reach. The partnership represented a calculated risk. No company had successfully demonstrated commercial-scale enhanced geothermal. Using horizontal wells, Latimer and his team would need to prove the concept worked, not just technically, but economically. The project they designed would either validate a new pathway to limitless clean energy, or become an expensive lesson in engineering limitations. Between January 2022 and March 2023, Fervo's drilling crews worked constantly in the Nevada desert. The engineering challenge was immense. They needed to drill 2 wells, nearly 8,000 feet deep, then turn the drill bits horizontal and extend them more than 3,000 feet through solid rock. The precision required was extraordinary. The 2 wells needed to remain roughly parallel, separated by specific distances, to create optimal conditions for heat transfer. Once drilling completed, engineers used controlled hydraulic fracturing to create networks of fractures connecting the 2 wells. Unlike oil and gas fracking that fractures rock to release trapped hydrocarbons, geothermal fracturing created pathways for water circulation. Cold water would be injected into one well, flow through the fracture network where it absorbed Earth's heat, then emerge from the second well as superheated fluid ready to generate electricity. To monitor this underground system, Fervo installed fiber optic cables throughout both wells. These cables provided real-time data on temperature, pressure, and flow rates, thousands of feet underground. The monitoring system represented its own innovation. Traditional geothermal plants operated somewhat blindly, unable to see what happened in their underground reservoirs. Fervo's fiber optic network provided unprecedented visibility into reservoir behavior, allowing engineers to optimize performance continuously. In April and May 2023, Fervo conducted a 37-day well test that would validate or invalidate everything they'd built. The results exceeded even optimistic projections. Water flowed through the underground system at 63 liters per second, far higher than typical geothermal wells. The superheated fluid generated 3.5 megawatts of electrical power, enough to supply thousands of homes. The test proved the hydraulic connection between wells functioned as designed. Water traveled through the fracture network, absorbed enormous heat, and returned to the surface in a continuous cycle. Energy analysts recognized immediately what Fervo had accomplished. They'd achieved performance levels that weren't expected until 2035. Fervo had compressed more than a decade of development into less than 3 years. Enhanced geothermal wasn't merely theoretical anymore. It was commercially viable technology. Understanding why this system produces seemingly infinite energy requires examining Earth's thermal structure. The planet formed 4.5 billion years ago. That original formation heat never fully dissipated. Additionally, radioactive elements continuously decay, producing new heat. The combination creates a thermal reservoir persisting for billions of years. Heat constantly flows from Earth's interior toward the surface. It never stops. Fervo's system doesn't extract a limited resource that depletes. It captures heat that would otherwise radiate into space unused. The water circulating returns to the reservoir to be reheated, creating a closed loop that can theoretically operate indefinitely. Despite Fervo's success, significant questions remain. Researchers still debate optimal designs for fracture networks. Every underground formation behaves differently. Engineers cannot simply replicate Nevada's design elsewhere. Each project requires careful geological analysis and customized engineering. Economic challenges persist. Current costs remain above Department of Energy targets, but drilling innovation continues reducing costs. These uncertainties represent the natural evolution of transformative technology. From proof of concept to mature industry, the implications extend far beyond Nevada. Fervo is developing Cape Station in Utah, targeting 400 megawatts by 2028. Hundreds of additional sites have been identified as suitable. This technology isn't geographically limited. Any location where drilling can reach sufficient temperatures becomes viable. Enhanced geothermal complements, wind and solar power, provides continuous baseload power without carbon emissions. Researchers suggest this combination represents the most practical pathway to complete decarbonization. What emerged from Nevada wasn't violation of physical laws. It was human ingenuity accessing energy that existed since Earth formed. Tim Latimer recognized that horizontal drilling technology could capture renewable thermal energy, Google's partnership proved the concept commercially. The infinite energy we sought wasn't hidden in exotic physics. It was beneath our feet all along, waiting for engineers clever enough to access it. Human innovation transformed that latent resource into practical power. We don't need infinite energy from the universe. We need infinite innovation from humanity. When vision meets engineering, the impossible becomes achievable. The power to change everything was always beneath us, waiting to be discovered. If you liked what you just saw, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. Leave your opinion in the comments below to let me know what you thought. Thanks for sticking around, and see you in the next video.